Hi everyone, this is Annindita Palaus, and as promised, I am back with the seventh and the final spiritual law of success, which is the law of Dharma or purpose in life. And if you have been following me, then you probably know that I have been making a series of videos over the past several weeks explaining the seven spiritual laws of success from the book by Deepak Chopra called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success. If you haven't already watched the previous laws, then I would highly recommend that you check out the link below in the description and watch the previous videos on the previous 6 laws of success. And so the final law of success, the law of Dharma or purpose in life, begins with this beautiful quote from Khalil Gibran. When you work, you are a flute, through whose heart the whispering of the hours turns to music. And what is it to work with love? It is to weave the cloth with threads drawn from your heart, even as if your beloved were to wear that cloth. So Dharma is a Sanskrit word which means purpose in life. And what the law of Dharma really talks about is this, that everything in this universe has been created for a very unique purpose. No two things have been created for the same purpose. In fact, even every blade of grass, every insect, every worm, everything, every single thing, not just we as humans, but everything that is there in the universe is for a purpose. It might serve an individual purpose as well as a collective purpose, but everything is serving a purpose because creation is extremely efficient and creation never makes a mistake. If creation was faulty, then the earth that keeps spinning on its axis every single day perfectly at the perfect 45-degree angle and keeps its revolution around the sun without clashing with any other planets, that wouldn't have been possible because there is no human being on the planet who's capable of managing this kind of creation. The perfection with which every single insect, every single worm, every single blade of grass has been created is incredible. So everything that exists in this universe has its own unique purpose. And just like you and me, we all are here to find or discover what our true unique purpose is. So according to this law, it is our sacred duty, so to speak, to discover what our unique talents and gifts are, which we are here to share with others, to share with the world at large. There is something in this universe that you can do better than anybody else. It might be hard for you to believe, especially because we have been trained so much in our society to constantly compare ourselves with others. It might be very hard for you to believe initially that there are things that you can do better than others. And there is a unique need for exactly what you have to offer. So not only do we all have a unique gift and talent, but for every unique gift and talent, there is also an equivalent unique need. And only you can fulfill that need. And when you find out what your unique talent is, and what the creative expression of your unique gifts and talents is, and you match that with those who need that exact same thing, then that creates the spark that has the potential to create unlimited abundance and success in your life. In fact, this is one of the things that Deepak Chopra talks about, to teach your kids from a very young age, to be focused about finding what your unique talents and skills are, instead of being so focused about earning a living. Because in our society, earning a living has become so predominant in everybody's minds that even if you ask a teenager what they want to do in life, they are thinking about in terms of what kind of job they want to get and how they want to earn a living. There is nothing wrong inherently in earning a living, but coming to think about it, even an earthworm is earning its living. So earning a living should not take the forefront of your consciousness, of your existence. Your entire life should not be revolving around earning a living. Even an insect is earning a living. This universe is literally taking care of every blade of grass, every insect, every worm, every single thing. It is pretty well capable of taking care of you and your earning a living. So what we need to be focused on instead is what are our unique gifts and talents that we are here to offer to others. So instead of being so focused on how we can earn our living, the focus should be on what we are here to give. That is the law of dharma. And according to Deepak Chopra, there are 3 components to the law of dharma. The first component is this, that we are all here to discover on our own, not because somebody told you, not because you read somewhere, but experientially discover who we truly are. And to realize for ourselves that we are spiritual beings having a human experience and not human beings having a random spiritual experience every once in a while. The second component to the law of dharma is discovering your unique talents and gifts. And once you discover that and you match that with the unique needs that your unique skills and talents fulfills, then that is what has the potential to create unlimited wealth, affluence, and success in your life. And that is in fact the third component of the law of dharma, that is service to others. So discovering what your unique talents are and expressing that in a manner that is of use to others, that provides or matches those unique needs that your talents and skills are able to fulfill. So this requires that instead of constantly looking for what is in it for me, looking for how can I help, how can I serve, when you make that important mental shift, then your entire reality changes, literally. Because from thinking about what is in it for me, how much money am I going to make from this, versus how much money can I make from that, instead of constantly thinking and evaluating everything. And in fact, as humans, we tend to have this kind of business-like evaluation, not just in our jobs, but we bring that evaluation to our daily lives in relationships as well. And when we constantly are thinking about what is in it for me, what am I going to get out of this, what is the point, what am I going to get, then your whole relationship is extremely limited. And by relationship, I'm not just referring to relationships with people, but you have a relationship with every single thing in your life. You have a relationship with your job, you have a relationship with your home, with your car, of course with your friends and family and relatives. But everything that you come across in your life, you form a relationship with it. And when you are constantly looking as what you can extract out of it versus what you can offer to it, or how you can serve or help, that is a very different attitude. That's a very different take on life. And in fact, that is a very limited take on life. And that limited mentality always comes from a lack consciousness. Because when you have abundance consciousness, then instead of thinking about what can I get, you will be thinking about how can I serve, how can I help, what can I give. And every time you are operating from a lack consciousness, of course, you will be manifesting more limitations and lack in your reality. And meditation, of course, is a very helpful and powerful tool for shifting your perspective from that egocentric domain of what can I get to the spirit-centric domain of how can I serve. But even if you're not meditating throughout the day, just having that objective in your mind or having that focus point in your mind, having that as your mantra, what can I offer, how can I serve, instead of what is in it for me, just changing that perspective, just making that internal shift in your mind and being aware of that throughout the day, every single day, is also very effective. In order to put the law of dharma to use, there are several commitments that you need to make to yourself. Of course, the first commitment is discovering who you truly are, discovering yourself as a spiritual being, and secondly, discovering your unique gifts and talents. And thirdly, using your imagination and your creative expression to discover and find out how you could use your unique skills and talents to serve humanity. Now, there are two things that I want to address because I have often come across these questions which are often sprouting from an inherent self-doubt, especially during coaching sessions with my clients. These are the two questions that I often come across, and even though the chapter does not deal with that, but I really thought that I should add that in. One of the things that people often think about when I tell them that you are unique and you have a unique skill set to offer to people, and there is something that only you can do, and nobody else in this whole universe can do it as good as you. So automatically, people start thinking, the logical mind kicks in, and it starts questioning, saying that that is not true. There are so many people who are doing exactly the same thing that I am doing. There are so many, if you're an artist or a lawyer or a doctor, doesn't matter who you are, but there are so many people who think that there are so many other artists, there are so many other dancers, there are so many other singers, there are so many other chefs. They're cooking exactly what I'm cooking, and they're dancing exactly what I'm dancing to, and they're doing it better than me. Well, just really take some time and really think about it. Are there really two chefs in the world who cook exactly the same way, whose food tastes exactly the same? Or are there two dancers or two painters or two singers in the world whose voice and whose dancing style and whose unique artistic expression is exactly the same way? Are there two doctors who are exactly the same in every single way? That is not possible, because the universe does not create duplicates like that. Maybe there are a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of dissimilarities. There are no two people who are exactly the same way in every single thing. And you might think that, okay, yeah, sure, there is a little bit of difference, but what difference does that make? It's still primarily the same. It is not. The smallest difference makes a huge difference when it comes to the people who have the need for that exact thing delivered in the exact same way that only you can deliver. So think about that. There are no two things. There are, even if you take a tree and closely examine, you might think, when you're looking from the surface, that all the leaves are the same. If you closely examine though, no two leaves are the same. Even no two petals of the same flower are the same. So you are really unique, and every single thing that you do is truly unique. There is no other person on this whole universe who is exactly just like you. So get over that thought. And then the second question that people often think or ask is that there are thousands of others who are equally talented as I am and who are more privileged. They are in a better position in their life, maybe because they belong to a better family, maybe because they are richer, maybe they have the right connections, the right sources, whatever it is. Maybe they have the right circumstances, they are in the right part of the world, whatever it is. But they are just in a better position than I am to do whatever it is that I do the best. And again, don't compare your circumstances and your situations in life to somebody else, because that will never be an apple to apple comparison. It will always be an apple to orange comparison. And the best analogy, actually it is not even an analogy, it is a true story that I like to share with people who have this thought that there are so many others who are so much more privileged than me, that even if I am talented, but those people, because they are privileged, they will always have the upper hand. And the story is about Tony Robbins, the world famous life coach, business coach, strategic interventionist, whom I really love following, and his teachings have definitely impacted my life in such a big way. And if you know Tony Robbins' story, then you know that he was born in a very poor family. His father left, abandoned him and his brothers and sisters when he was pretty young. He was a teenager or maybe even younger than that. His mother was a drug and alcohol addict and pretty abusive. And in fact, what Tony Robbins himself said in multiple of his interviews is that several times his mom would try to force him to drink toilet cleaner. Not when she was in her senses, of course, but she was a drug addict. She was an alcoholic. She didn't know better when she was intoxicated. And look at where Tony Robbins is today. In fact, they were so poor that on one Thanksgiving day, they didn't even have food at home. And there were some people who offered them food. Either it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, I'm not sure about the story, but it is one of those holiday seasons. And that kindness impacted him so much that he decided that when he grows up, he is going to pay it forward. He didn't use his circumstances as a reason to hold him back in life. In fact, those are the exact circumstances that fired his spirit, that fired his soul to be who he is today. If you see him on the stage, he's literally on fire. And I don't think if he would have had an easy life where he would have never had any challenges to face, he would be the same person that he is today. So stop using that as an excuse too, that there is somebody else who's more privileged than you. And that's why they have an upper hand, and that's why you cannot manifest the abundance and success that you deserve. So I hope this video made sense. And if you liked it, then like it, share it, and leave your comment below. And if you haven't already, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.